Everybody ready? All right, we'll start quick from Coach and then we'll jump into questions.
Well, by the way, I want y'all to know I love Coca-Cola. It's a great drink. Big Coca-Cola fan. Coke Zero, Diet Coke. I don't know if y'all saw that. Just a little joke to start this thing off. Really good day today, especially, it was tropical in Lubbock today. We were outside for most of the practice and really thought the guys did a good job of handling the weather and really focused. Started off the practice with team compete. Gino hit a 55-yarder with the first drive, so excited about that. That's the thing that both of them are doing a phenomenal job, but for whatever reason, our first kicks in a team compete period we've missed. So today we hit our first one, and that was good. And then Reese came back, and I think he hit a 42, 43 yards with the twos. So excited about that. Guys that had really good practice today that stood out to me. Joseph Adedere, he's back. He got banged up, and he's been back. Scrimmaged on Saturday, and then I thought he had a really good day today. DB Carroll keeps showing up at defensive tackle, and Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez had his best practice in the scrimmage on Saturday and then backed it up today. Now, offense, Vinny Scurry he just sets the tone. He's a throwback when it comes to offensive line. Very physical kid, tough kid. Josh Kelly had a really good day today, and then John Carlos Miller stood out. So, this is we kind of introduced our first two opponents today. We did a little Abilene Christian. We did a little Washington State. When you're talking about doing Washington State, it's almost doing yourself from the standpoint of offense because we're going to see very similar stuff. But we just kind of wanted to break up the monotony of camp. This being the last week of camp, and so we wanted to start introducing some stuff schematically of what we're going to see. I thought the guys handled it well. Tomorrow will be another heavy practice, and then we start school on Thursday. We'll have a morning walkthrough, Fast Friday, mock game, and then I can't wait for game week. It's here, and so good day today. With that, open up for any questions.
Coach, with regard to the weather, can you talk about how it's impacted and how your guys have had to persevere through that and what that's meant to your team?
Yeah, it's good. Most of my guys are either from Texas or, from the South. They understand what it's like in Texas this time of year. I think it's probably a little hotter, it seems, all the way around. I shouldn't say that. They're going to when they see this, they're going to get mad at me because we say tropical. We never use the word hot. But, and it's going to be warm tomorrow. And that's good, and there's going to be times. I think whenever we play ACU, it's going to be a really nice night. If the weather holds up like what the forecast says, it's going to be nice at Washington State. It'll probably be in the 70s when we play there. So I think they've held up really well. What helps us the most is we're a really deep football team. A really deep football team. That's one thing that jumps out on this roster is how deep we are at each position. And like I told them, we addressed this, talking to them about at almost every single position, there's no reason to hold back because there's somebody that could come in after X amount of plays and play at a really high level, and especially on the defensive side of the ball where you substitute a lot of guys. But I thought they held up really well to the temperatures.
Coach, how's the depth chart of running back shaking out?
We did not scrimmage Taj for that reason. Cam Dickey had an ankle sprain, so he did not go, but he was back today. He'll get even more tomorrow. And so I feel good about, of course, Taj being the starter, and then both Cam Valdez and Cam Dickey being, 2A and 2B. Probably the best thing out of all of this with Cam rolling his ankle is Jacoby Williams is a difference maker. He is something. And with him running with the ones and the twos to where he's seeing a little bit better, clearer picture, cleaner picture, there's definitely something there. I'm not saying how much he would play, but he's definitely a guy that's like a home run hitter, catches the ball really well out of the backfield. But I would say like Cameron Valdez and Cam Dickey are 2A and 2B.
Coach, where are you at on your offensive line with who was the most consistent in scrimmage and just how's that shaping out right now?
Yeah, we kind of just still messing with, where everybody is. There were times that Caleb was at left tackle, right guard, right tackle. I definitely feel that Caleb feels, and you can see it on film, better on the right side. Sterling, Sterling missed the first part of camp, so he's playing himself back into shape. He had a pulled hamstring, and so you see him getting in better and better shape. So there was a mixture of like Sterling at left tackle, Vinny at left guard, Sherry at center, DC Carter at right guard, and Caleb at right tackle. You had Ty Buchanan at right tackle whenever Caleb was at left tackle. So we feel really good about our top 6, 7, and then maybe 8 right now, and 9 could get us out of a game. But we feel really good about that there's 6 guys that you can throw Caleb kind of anywhere, and those other guys really fit in well.
Who are those 8 and 9 guys?
Danny Seals, we actually have bumped with Jackson Hughes is one of them. And with Jackson Hughes being a tackle, we've been able to bump Danny Seals into guard, which probably is going to end up being his more natural position. So he's trending in a really good direction. Dylan Shaw is, for a young guy, had a good camp. And, I don't expect him to play, but a guy like Holton Hendricks, you really can see something with a young guy like him. He's been playing left guard. Dylan and Holton have been playing left guard, Danny at right guard. So, Jackson Hughes, Danny Seal, those are like 8 and 9. Dalton Merriman would be 7, and then the 6 guys are the guys that have played a whole lot of football, minus, of course, Sheridan. But he's had a really good camp.
Coach, where's Kaden Carr at? I know that, is he still in that mix? I know that
He is, but we actually moved him to center, which he loves, and it's been good for him from the standpoint of he's very, just because he likes to hit people, and he at times gets very impatient, which puts him really over his toes. So it's with center, he's got to be more patient. And then, it sounds crazy, but not having his hand in the dirt and having his hand on the ball has kind of changed his body position. So in pass blocking, it kind of keeps him from leaning over. So he's actually done a really good job. But, at center, you would kind of go Sheridan, Davion Carter, and Caleb Rodkey, and then Carr.
Coach, who's the hidden gem on offense and defense?
Dre McCray, without a doubt, on offense. Man, the dude just is a machine, loves football, catches the ball in traffic. Good things happen whenever it's in his hand. On the defensive side of the ball, a guy that has not played a lot for us that has had a really good camp, I keep bringing him up, is Harvey Dyson. I think those 2 guys, no doubt we've seen, Dre McCray shouldn't surprise anybody from the standpoint he's the returning kickoff. He's yardage leader in the NCAA, but he's doing really well. Harvey has, he's 250 pounds, a little bit over 250 pounds. He's maintaining that. He's got an edge to him right now. It's year 3. Like, any time that you're thinking of anything in the O-line or D-line, year 3, the light better come on. Like, you should expect guys to play year 3 whenever they're in the trenches. It's year 3, and, man, he's really, really excited for him.
Joe, you said back a few months ago you prefer if Drake could be the punt return guy because of his return ability.
Yeah.
But so much is depending on catching the ball. I think Kenny mentioned last week, Josh and maybe Michael look more natural at that. Where's that competition right now?
Yeah, if we're starting tomorrow or if they're punting right now, Josh Kelly would go out first. Jordan Brown would probably be second, like 2A. Micah would be like 2B. Then Dre. Dre just is such a natural at kickoff and return, or catching the kickoff versus punt. But Josh Kelly, we want to be able to get, that's another touch for Josh Kelly. It'd be great for another touch for Jordan Brown or another touch for Micah. But that right now I'd go with Josh Kelly.
And defensive tackles, who's the ones right now?
Man, that's a great question. Quincy Ledet, like if we're going out, it would be a toss-up between Quincy Ledet, DB Carroll, and Duda Banks. Those are the 3 that are probably playing at the highest level. Then you turn around and you've got James Hansen, who, especially when our odd stuff, I mean, he's 316 to 320 pounds, so he does a really good job playing the nose. So he's done really well. Trey McAlpin, it was his first day back. He had a pretty good ankle sprain our first practice and looked really good. And then Cofield is in the mix too. I mean, like, that is the great thing. I was messing with DeRuiter because we were having a really good defensive practice. I said, well, it helps whenever you have 6 to 7. Now with McAlpin back, defensive tackles you can run in there. I mean, our first year, you go back and look at the snaps, and I mean, it is really lopsided by 2 guys and then 2 other guys that didn't play very much. It's hard to play that. So I would throw those guys in like that. And it really, man, it's crazy. It goes day by day because Cofield will, he doesn't ever trend down, but he'll do something that you're like, golly, man, that's really good. That probably the 3 most consistent older guys are Quincy, Duda, and DB.
And with what you just said a moment ago about Harvey, has he put himself in a position to be a starter? Or
He has.
The ones on the edge?
Yeah, he really has. You know, it's at different times. It's kind of a toss-up. Amir at the F, Harvey at the B. You could see Isaac, he plays both. Joe kind of plays both. So those guys have done a really good job. I mean, I think Coach IU probably, if we went out there right now and took a snap, it would probably be Amir and Harvey going with the ones. But, you know, it's one of those deals where, I mean, again, at the end of practice, I'm like going through trying to make an example like Isaac. Go play 3 hard plays as hard as you can. When the offense subs, here comes Harvey. He's going to play 3 hard plays as hard as he can. When the offense subs, here comes Joseph Adedire. Like, the depth on the defensive front 7 is pretty impressive.
Coach, what's the one position you've seen the most improvement since spring?
I would say star, AJ McCarty and BJ Jordan. It's really impressive. AJ is playing at another level. The speed that he's playing at right now is really impressive, and BJ's not backing off the competition. But I love the way AJ's playing. Like, he is constantly an example. Whenever we have team meetings at night, we do everybody wears a GPS unit. We have a competition, max velocity competition, and AJ has been the fastest at 21.7 miles per hour, and he just keeps showing up on tape. So I would say Star's been the biggest improvement.
Of the younger guys, who have you seen the most? Have you seen step up the most?
You know, I think the running backs. I mean, those guys. Cam Dickey, because he went through the mid-year, you know, we saw really quick that he wasn't going to redshirt, but I've been excited about Jacoby Williams. I mean, he's done really well. Those are 2 of the younger guys. You know, we're young in the secondary in some areas, but they've all played. So when they do stuff, it doesn't surprise me as much. Those 2 guys have been really, you know, kind of jump off tape.
Coach, going back to the offensive lineman, Barron, he mentioned a few weeks ago that he's gotten to his 4th and 5th read probably for the first time in his career.
Yeah.
Have you kind of seen that trend continuing as far as giving him enough time during the market?
Yeah, he had, you know, again, it's funny how the scrimmages have gone, the live scrimmages in the stadium. The defense has come out and really set a tone. And then the offense kind of gets going, and Barron stepped up in the pocket, hit Brady Bond. That's what a guy I coached at Cedar Hill too. Brady Boyd. He hit Brady Boyd for a touchdown in the back of the end zone. Really good pocket, so he was able to step up. And then he had a really good pass. Jordan Brown had a really good catch for a touchdown. We simulated in overtime, and he had a touchdown to Jordan Brown in the overtime. And it was really impressive, the pocket again of him stepping up. Barron's really worked hard on understanding like things that he needs to do to be a really good quarterback, but also things he needs to do to stay healthy. And some of that stuff is, you know, being able to step up in the pocket instead of trying to escape to the right or to his left.
And I know the last scrimmage, it was more, you know, fixing those penalties as well. What have you seen, I guess, in this last scrimmage? Was that an issue at all?
You know, we had some pre-snap penalties. I was excited today because we went through a practice of any team compete where we didn't have any offensive pre-snap penalties. So trending in the right direction. I mean, I still think it's going to be, a work in progress, but that's something, that's one of our number one plan to win. Don't beat yourself. That's all pre-snap penalties. So we got to continue to get better than that. But it was better today.
Coach, back on stars, if there was ever a situation where you would need a third guy in that mix, who's been working in that?
Marcus Ramon Edwards, the two, and two young guys, like redshirt freshmen, you ask, like, what young guys have jumped out. Like Justin Horn and Marcus Ramon Edwards are, it's going to sound funny. I mean, not like funny, haha, but like, no, you should, but they're starting to look like football players. Like, they're doing football things. They were so young last year, and Marcus Ramon Edwards, you think, he played running back, and he was just the best athlete on the team, so he just probably went and covered everybody. He's starting to make football plays. Justin Horn is starting to make football plays. It's really exciting to see those guys. And then a guy that we got back today that was full go, that wasn't in a banana jersey, was Mikael Dingle. We got Mikael back. Mason Tharp had a really good practice. Bryce Ramirez had a good practice. Some guys that we've been like either in yellow jerseys or holding out, and it was good to get him back. But Marcus is that third star.
Is there any other individual standouts from the scrimmage?
No.
Go ahead.
Now we're gonna take that into almost like we did 2 years ago. When we had Gino and Wolf, and one guy missed, another guy made it, and then Wolf took off. I think right now, because of the way they're both kicking, there's a competition that go into the first game.
Were there any other individual standouts from the scrimmage that really did well for themselves?
Mo Horn is, he has grown up so much. Again, year 3. Year 3, you guys that you think should play and play at a high level, he's that guy. But I've been really proud of him. I thought he had a really good scrimmage. Jacob Rodriguez had his best scrimmage, and then, like I said, carried over today. That was really good to see. Mo's been fun to watch because the dude loves playing. He's 180 pounds, man. He's a physical dude. He really takes pride in that, and it's good to have him and Lux. I think another guy, and he had a really good day today. He had an interception, was Devin Cromwell. He's doing. We're asking Jordan Sanford and Devin Cromwell to do a lot of stuff right now. They're both playing safety, and they're both playing corner, because we're just trying to. The thing right now, and if you're like, the one thing we're trying to do in probably the offensive line and in spots of the secondary is just create depth, create as much depth as possible in some of those spots. Like Chapman Lewis, he's the number one guy. He makes a huge difference when he's on the field. We've got to make sure we've got a number 2 guy if he needs a drink of water or something during a long drive.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
What's your thought?
No, that's kind of the stuff that we're thinking about.
I was going to ask you, who's out right now? Anybody hurt that's going to be down for a while?
The only guy still, I said Dylan is Spencer is, but we don't have anybody right now, man. I think the change, because we have practiced really physical. The physicality of our practice has not changed. We are a very physical team, and we hit, and you have to. But I think the change in the schedule has made a big difference, that we are really healthy right now. We're getting, we got 4 or 5 guys back today that didn't scrimmage. I can't think of anybody that I would say, other than Dylan Spencer, which we talked about, that I would say is not going to, as long as we trend this way, that we should have everybody ready to go against ACU.
All right, thanks, Coach.